514.
514 competitors. You can't know every single deck.
Yeah.
So what you can do is make sure you know what those certain color variations do. Welcome to Cardboard Content, where we empower the community. I don't know about that slogan. Well, we're figuring it out. What's up, Lance?
Cardboard Content, where we empower. We'll work on it. Yeah. What's up?
So the 20K just happened, and the Invitational.
Yeah.
It was they gave away like $2.9 trillion.
Damn.
Or like 20K or something like that. I think 20K.
No, I think trillion sounds good. Yeah.
So the 20K, we had a lot of competitors, like 514.
Yeah, that's the largest tournament I think we've ever had so far.
Yeah,
right?
for cEDH. That's super cool.
Yeah.
It's growing.
To know you could bring 500 plus players together is pretty cool.
Yes, for cEDH.
There's definitely a wave or...
It's growing.
Yeah.
With all those on the rise, people are going to want to know strategies. What's the difference between cEDH, tournament cEDH, or what people like to call tEDH?
I don't like it, but it's real.
It's a real
thing.
It is real, and we're gonna coin it here, guys. iEDH.
iEDH.
Invitational.
Yeah.
You want to go to this 20K. What is your preparations for it?
Pick a deck that I, first of all, like, and second of all, I feel like I do well with, right? And then practice the hell out of it.
I would assume it's at your like local LGS and with friends and whatnot that have that competitive commander aspect of gaming.
Yeah, with like-minded people. It's the one where you could repeatedly get the most reps on your deck or learn what's good or what's bad or what should go in your deck, what should come out. Things to...
Yeah, get
those little things about your deck you need to learn, but you only learn through playing it over and over and over.
Yeah, your LGS. Low stakes, high reps. Just get those games out, and hopefully you learn your deck inside out.
I have certain things I do when I build a new deck. When I build a new cEDH deck, I have certain things I do when I want to learn and get better at it. What are some things you do that are you think unique, or something you do that other people might not?
I have to use blue as a crutch. It's going to start off with blue X. Typically, it's going to be the more colors, you'll have access to more of the colors and the best cards in the format. Whether you're playing Najila or Kenrith, you have access to all these powerful cards. I now found out after MagicCon, you don't want to play something fresh. Because it will be hated out. Vivi.
Oh, Vivi.
Yeah. I played it, and I immediately got hated out in round one.
Vivi, Stella, Nadu.
Yes.
Just target on your back.
Yeah, as soon as these decks came out, I basically got that card's busted. It needs to be banned. Go kill it. I personally try to avoid it.
Could you say that same goes for a deck that has been doing very well? Kinnan. Maybe like a year ago, was winning tournament after tournament. Mm-hmm. Would you say showing up to LGS with Kinnan all of a sudden kind of puts a target on your back and affects the way you play the deck in trying to get better at it?
Yeah, it could. It definitely could affect it because people know it. I want to say it's, for lack of a better phrasing, it's infamous deck. Casual people play it and competitive people play it. It's a good card. It's you can balance it in lower levels, but it is still good. Again, it puts a target on itself and most likely gonna get hated out even if there is a more dangerous presence on the board.
Like, would you say it's erroneously hated out? Like, maybe it's not the most optimal play to hate out the Kinnan player? That's something that's kind of could be up for debate, right? Like,
very, very much so. It is very, very debatable. I mean, you can say, yes, target that, but then, like, if you hard target something, it just brings the rise to other people. You want to keep, checks and balances type of thing. Make sure people aren't getting too much of a big lead. You don't want to make yourself a target also.
So if you want to be somebody who wins a lot of games, do you think it's better to play what the best deck is or play a deck you like playing?
You can play any deck. And if you're good enough pilot, in my opinion, the best deck out there would be T&K, Blue Farm. That's up for debate. It's the most all-around deck. It has card draw in the command zone, and you can have... it's good late game. It has the Thassa for early game. It's a very good balanced deck. Is it the best deck? Again, up for debate. I personally would play something similar to that. Like I said, the more colors, the more preferred for me. That's what I would bring to the event. But being at an event, being at a tournament, now you have to think of something else.
You've played at your weeklies for a few months now. You feel pretty comfortable with your deck. You've cut out the cue cards. You killed your darlings, as they say. You've optimized your deck to what you think is the best it could be. You've got that flight. You went over to Atlanta, Pittsburgh, whatever, these big tournaments. Mm-hmm. You showed up. What's different now with your mindset than versus what was at your weeklies?
So now I'm in tournament mode. So I'm pushing, obviously, for points. So the structure, 5 points for a win, and then sometimes you're going to have to push for that draw. You consulted away your win con, and now all you can do is stop them from winning and maybe get that draw. It's a horrible aspect. People hate it, but it's part of the tournament structure, right? So at that point, you have, 500 competitors?
514.
514 competitors. You can't know every single deck.
Yeah.
So what you can do is make sure you know what those certain color variations do. Like, let's take top 4, for instance.
Okay.
Right?
So I'll give you the colors of the top 4.
Yeah.
And if I just give you the colors of the top 4,
Mm-hmm.
should you be able to immediately tell things you should be looking out for about those colors?
Yeah. Maybe you don't know the deck, but you should know, okay, they're sitting at the table. You can obviously read the commander, and you know the color combinations. You should get a general idea of what those cards are played in his deck.
Okay, so 4th place. We'll go with 4th place. They're playing Naya colors.
Okay, Naya. You have red-green, very, very fast. Mana Dorks, red rituals, bursts of acceleration, and then you have white for silence effects. Grand Abolisher, Voice of Victory, Silence itself, a handful of those. You have that Silence suite. And
So maybe some stack
and,
effects
and some stacks effects also in there.
Okay. Yeah. Grixis.
Fastest console. You got the counter package suite in there also. Underworld Breach, you have access to it. They have many lines they can do as soon as they get Underworld Breach and access to their graveyard.
Okay. Orzhov. Black-white.
Okay, this is a stray away from ordinary. You have white, again, the silences, right?
Okay.
And some stacks. Then you have black, your reanimation packages. So I'm picturing Abdel lines. Yeah. Entomb, reanimate Abdel, make a bunch of guys, maybe flash in a Bowmaster, and then...
1st place, red-green, Gruul.
You have, again, fast mana, massive acceleration, maybe drop a 7/7 on the board, turn 1, 2, or 3, and then mill lands away and get a spell. That's what typically Gruul decks do, from my understanding.
So in tEDH, you're mostly playing... You're trying to best use the rules of the tournaments to your advantage, to advance within the tournament.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is not only should you already come knowing how your deck works, but knowing how other people's decks might work.
Yeah, you can't predict 514 decks. But if you know the general purpose of certain color combinations and the key cards or the staple cards that are used in those color combinations, you should be well off. You're like, okay, that's a black-blue deck. It's probably going to be control. At your local LGS, sometimes you're just trying to test out things and you're not pushing for a draw, really. But sometimes you have to when you're in that tEDH mindset.
One example is at MagicCon, their cEDH tournament. I was in the second round, and I was playing Atali, and I revealed a food chains that went into my hand, and I knew the blue farm player next in turn order had a Fierce Guardianship, but there was another blue farm player after him that had a Ristic with like 20 cards, right? So he's like, I'm gonna cast this. I said, I'm gonna cast this food chain. He goes, I have to Fierce Guardianship. I'm like, you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna cast this food chain. You're gonna use your Fierce Guardianship. You're gonna have nothing for this guy, and that's gonna be the game. And he goes, I don't know. He goes, okay, we'll see. I cast the food chain. He counters it. He goes his turn. He passes. The second blue farm player obviously wins.
Yeah.
So it's I'm gonna make whether or not I know you have it, I'm gonna make you use it, make you have it, have you make the answer.
Yeah, that makes sense. In that mindset, I guess the third or the last player who wasn't in that interaction at all, if that was me, I would have brought up saying, okay, maybe we can bring up a draw here because obviously he's going to win and we could just save that interaction, or I'm not going to stop him if you can agree to the draw.
Yeah, I think if this were like an actual tournament, not
MagicCon.
Sorry, unfortunately, MagicCon, it's not a real. It's fun, not a real tournament.
Yes, yeah.
I think in that instance, I could go. I'm gonna play this food chains. Would you guys like to draw? This guy's gonna counter it. This guy's gonna win. You can save your Fierce, or we can all just call it a draw right now, and we don't have to let the blue farm win, and all of us can agree to a draw. I think maybe then, they would have agreed to it.
Yeah, that's when you have to bring up those situations. You have to think about that. You're playing the long game. You're not trying to win this one battle, right? You're trying to win the war.
It's awkward, right? Because it's not a skill you learn at your LGS.
No.
Right?
No.
You don't sit in your locals weeklies and you go, okay, well, let's just play for a draw, guys. Like, let's just, you play.
Yeah, you just play.
So it's like, where can you learn that?
Doing the ones you have access to, a fishbowl, a cookout, or any of those events. Those are the time you're going to get those reps in.
So I think one thing players could do that, say you can only attend so many tournaments a year. I think what you can do is if you have a group of 4 like-minded competitive players, when you're playing, if say you're just playing a game for fun, you can talk about like, hey, in a tournament, would this be an instance where we could talk about having a draw, right?
Yes.
If you're just jamming games with 3 of your buddies and they're all competitive, you could be like, hey, I'm going to do this, you're going to do this because I know you have this, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring up, hey, in a tournament, do you think I can make this a draw? Do you think I can convince this table to make this game a draw with its current game state? And maybe that could be a way you can learn to know when is the right time to kind of fire that off in a tournament.
I like that idea. I honestly never thought of that because we are trying our hardest and trying to learn our decks, but I've never thought of having that aspect, and I probably will start doing that with our friends and trying that strategy just so I get that mindset of like, okay, this is unwinnable. Let's see. Okay, in a tournament event, I'd offer you guys a draw at this point because I can stop him, but he can stop you, but then this guy wins. Draw, and if everyone says no or this, then I guess that would be a good talking point at that point. Why wouldn't you? And like, you bring it up. What unfortunately you're practicing there is the politicking, right?
It's something fortunately or unfortunately, that's part of EDH. It's part of
any multiplayer.
It's part of any game where there's a third person, right?
Yeah, so an additional person. If I'm trying to beat you or you're trying to beat me, that's fine. But if there's one person or 2 more people, then the dynamics completely change.
Yep.
That's the good bad thing about Commander, right? You have these different dynamics. Then it's just like, I'm just trying to beat you and you're just trying to beat me. Now there's this other game, which is, in my opinion, very fun about Commander. That's a good chunk of what you should have to understand when you have that tEDH mindset at a 514 event like the Steel City. They also had a invitational that weekend.
Smaller side event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you verify and pull up the how you get into the invitational?
So there's a few ways. Okay. It's usually by points. If you win a tournament with at least 16 players, that's called the bronze level tournament. You win points for that. 30 plus players, 50 plus players, 100 plus players, and 250 plus players have different amounts of points you get for winning those tournaments. The top 60 in points on the leaderboard auto qualify. And other ways to qualify are winning a diamond event, making top 4 auto qualifies you for the invitation.
Oh, okay. Just top 4 at
just top 4 at 250 player event.
And then you get into the invitation.
Quit being lazy.
Also, the pricing for the invitationals, $4,500 for first. It's a good chunk of change.
Pretty good.
Second through fourth, $1,500, and up to 16th place gets $500. So that's a good. For most people, it would pay for their weekend.
Yeah.
So
we're talking like these are the best of the. These are people who've learned everything they can at their LGSs, have now won one or multiple tournaments with 25, 50, 250 plus players.
Mm-hmm.
How are they, what is their mindset different than going into a normal tournament now?
From my perspective, I don't know if it is, but just knowing, you know your deck. Now, trying to figure out the meta. Finding the most balanced deck or the best deck for you is your best bet. Since it's such a dense amount of people and they're playing the best decks they can, you can anticipate the decks. So much so, if you don't mind telling me what the top 4 was.
The top 4 for the Invitational were 4th place being Crom and Timna.
Mm-hmm.
3rd place being Timna and Crom.
Oh, okay.
2nd place being Timna the Weaver and Crom Ludovic's Opus.
Ah.
And the winner, Crom and Timna.
Yes. So, again, knowing your meta, these guys went and brought their best deck. So, just trying to figure out what people play and what they're best at. This is like the tournament of the year. It's the Super Bowl. It's the World Series of Poker. It's the tournament for them. So they have to bring their best game. So typically, it would be the best deck they performed with. What stands out to you that people can take away from this invitationals?
Easy. Such easy answer. Play Blue Farm. And you'll win. At least top 4.
Yes, at least top 4. Yeah. I think it was...
Be good at this and be good at drawing. You'll make top 4. That's my tips to become a better player.
Yeah, I think the meta was 19 out of the 65, so almost 30% was T and K. It's wild.
Yeah.
With the invitational, would you take one of the decks from there? Let's say besides Blue Farm, and maybe make an attempt to play that?
Probably not. Only because I think that there is a certain metagame that's only exists within invitationals. There are decks going into the invitational that I think the players are either thinking, this is how I'm going to beat other invitational decks, or this is how I'm going to be the best invitational deck, right? And they're not thinking about how am I going to win a 500 player tournament? How am I going to beat these other players that I probably know, right? The invitational players on probably one level or another, they all probably know each other. They know what each other plays. So I think more so you're playing against the person and not so much the deck.
That's probably a good takeaway for people at home, since the smaller tournaments, they'll know most of those people, right?
Yep.
So they can figure out their tells or how their deck works or how they operate themselves as a player, how they pilot their deck.
I think it's once you're at a level that's invitational, you know how to play cEDH. You know your deck. You know the other decks.
Mm-hmm.
What you still haven't learned, or what you can still learn, is the players, and I think that's something that you can't really teach until you're playing repeatedly at that kind of level.
Mm-hmm. And with those people.
And with players like of that level.
Correct, yeah. General recap, cEDH. We go to our local LGSs and jam as many games as we can, right? tEDH.
You're playing against the system now. You're playing against the for better or for worse, you're using the top deck's point system as best you can to your advantage.
Yeah.
Playing for draws if you need to, if you are in an unwinnable situation, or just a really mired down, muddy situation. You try to play for the draw. Something you kind of run into a lot in tEDH.
And in iEDH, it's a dense field, and you know your deck. Now it's time to know the player, and your best bet is just to outplay the player itself. You have all the reps with your decks. There's nothing you can do now. All you got to do is just play the player. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's all down below.
If you want to see the deck lists of any of the decks we were talking about today, you can see them all on EDHtop16.com. And if you're trying to get your way to get points into an invitational, check out topdeck.gg.
While you're down there, you can also support the channel through our Patreon. Like these people metagaming and supporting the channel. Let's start off with our tier 2 patrons. We have Big Yoda, Marcus, Dylan, Troy, Rodrigo, Turd Ferguson, Tiny, and our newly upgraded Aaron. Moving on to our tier 3 cardboard cutouts, we got Wong, Matt, and Albert. Thank you everyone for your continued support. If you would also like to consider supporting the channel, please head to patreon.com/cardboardcontent. See you guys next time for more content.
See you later.
You know what I can do to improve my game?
I know. But it's not what you're going to say.
I'm going to say, play a deck for more than a week.
Yeah, you could take out the really bad Tolarian Academy out of your deck